Oh, Canada. When it comes to
you
don't want me to sing. People stop paying attention and start running. But when it comes to vacation destinations, it doesn't get much better than our neighbor to the north. I am not just saying that because that's where I'm from.
Yeah, you are.
Travel and Leisure magazine is out with its destination of the year in the December issue.
Wow,
and
it's like on the cover.
Yep, Canada's the big winner.
So here to discuss it is Travel and Leisure's travel director, Jacqueline Gifford. Good to see you.
Hi, guys. Good morning.
Good morning. So what makes Canada your destination of the year? I'm only kidding.
I don't want
to get any Twitter hate. I love Canada. I have a lot of relatives that live there. Yeah, Canada's great. I just like teasing this.
I understand why you would pick Canada. I mean, there's such diversity sort of clear across the country. Whatever you're into, you can find something.
This is the 4th year in a row that we've done this Destination of the Year franchise, and it's really exciting. We just sort of take a survey, a poll of what places are buzzy, what's trending. We talk to travel agents, our writers, our editors, and we all kind of agreed this is Canada's year. It's celebrating its 150th anniversary as a nation with Justin Trudeau in office. There's just this youthful energy, and like you said, there's so much to do there. You've got great cities to visit like Montreal here on the East Coast, Vancouver on the West Coast, and then there's so many beautiful rural destinations and national parks. One place that we really spotlight in the piece is the Okanagan Valley in British Columbia. It's this really amazing unsung wine region. They've got 8,000 acres of vineyards, 170 tasting rooms to explore, and it's really close to Washington State. So, you know, no surprise, Washington makes great wine. So this part of Canada does too, and it's great. I mean, there's just like you said, a variety, a diversity of places to go. Yeah. So that's why we said it.
One of the things I'd be worried about if I was planning a travel vacation to Canada, it's so big. So how would you be able to choose like how to get the best out of it? I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much. I mean, well, that's why you can read our story because we have. So we really focused on places that are having a bit of a moment, some trending places. So obviously the Okanagan Valley, Montreal. There's the Mile End neighborhood, which is kind of new and emerging and buzzy. Also, there's a great Leonard Cohen exhibit at the Contemporary Art Museum there right now. It's on through April. A survey of his works with other artists showing some works there as well. We also talk about Winnipeg as an emerging food destination.
Really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you didn't even know that.
Winnipeg's pretty chilly right about now.
I know, right? And also some great, Canada has some amazing heritage hotels, places with real history. In Quebec City, you've got the Fairmont Chateau Frontenac, a celebrity favorite. Angelina Jolie has stayed there, Alfred Hitchcock, and then another unique property is the Fogo Island Inn off of Newfoundland. We really love this hotel because first of all, it's striking, a really modern structure by the Canadian architect Todd Saunders, but it really gives back to the community because the woman who started it, she saw that the island was really hurting economically, and so they employ only locals there. They made sure that the furniture in the guest rooms were all made by locals, quilts as well, so it has a really unique sense of place.
Yeah, you're bringing me back. I'm having like flashbacks when you said Chateau Frontenac, because that is the destination for the 8th grade trip every year.
Oh, I love that.
Every 8th grader gets to go to like a real hotel in Montreal. Yeah, I'm sure they weren't that thrilled when they saw us, pulling up. But yeah, Chateau Frontenac. So there are other places. I mean, of course, I could talk about Canada for this whole segment.
Of course,
you really could.
There are other places.
Memphis.
Yeah, so Memphis is just a great southern city, and so for the fall, the weather's incredible. And a lot of people don't know it actually has a really amazing park, Shelby Farms Park, one of the country's biggest green spaces, 450 acres. There's equestrian trails, hiking trails, places for kids to play. They actually have a 10-mile bike path called the Green Line that connects the park with the city. Also, there's the Broad Avenue Arts District that's really up and coming with boutiques, the South Main Arts District. There's also the National Civil Rights Museum that you can visit,
been to that.
Which is incredible, very moving, and they went through a renovation a few years ago, and so it's really an amazing place to see. The Blues Hall of Fame, and also a really cool B&B called the James Lee House. It's a historic home. They have 5 guest rooms, $250 a night, just really quite charming and unique.
So, I love Memphis. I've been there several times, not just to visit the Civil Rights Museum, which I go every time I see it, but because I'm a huge Elvis fan.
Yes,
and so I go to Sun Records, and I go to the Peabody Hotel and see like the Ducks. I in fact bought a fedora from the man who used to sell Elvis's clothes.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
He's passed away ever since the last time I was there, but that was kind of cool to be at the Lansky Brothers, which was like they now had a little shop in the Peabody Hotel, and Mr. Lansky, the guy who sold all of Elvis's like clothes when he was still in high school,
That's
and
amazing.
up until he was like famous in the 70s, Elvis was still buying clothes from this guy.
My
he
God.
was kind enough to sell me a hat, and he gave me like the pattern. Man, you look real cool in that. And
I love
it was
it.
cool.
We're getting
I'm sure he's never said that before.
No, he's never said that before. He only said it to me, Anne-Marie.
Yeah, of course.
All right, let's talk about Marfa.
Yeah, so
it's a small,
I have always wanted to go here.
Oh, good.
Yes.
I'm so glad. Well, it's known for its art scene. It's this little West Texas town in the middle of the desert. The artist Donald Judd really put it on the map, and you can go and see the Chinati Foundation, which has many of his works, along with lots of other works by contemporary artists. It's a huge campground, and then the town itself is quite charming. Boutiques, galleries, lots of places to go and see. There's the Hotel St. George, which just opened last year, and then El Cosmico is a really unique place to stay. It combines vintage trailers with teepees and yurts. It's just quirky and cool. Marfa just has an edge to it and a life to it that is really unlike any other.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I feel like it's sort of like an Instagram haven.
Oh,
like
totally.
everywhere you go is a great shot for your Instagram feed.
And this time of year is amazing. The weather, it's a little bit cooler. You know, it's a desert, so it's a desert landscape. But there's amazing stargazing, and you know, it's Instagram heaven, totally.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. All right, so finally, you suggest visiting the Bahamas, and what makes I mean, I think sometimes when we think of the Bahamas, we think, you know,
some all-inclusive. We've seen it before.
all-inclusive, like seen it before, kind of a thing. But you know, this looks amazing.
Well, there's a new big hotel that just opened in the Bahamas called Bahamas. So it's in Nassau. It's a multi-billion-dollar development, and it's really breathing new life into the destination. It has multiple hotels. The SLS hotel is actually opening this weekend. The Grand Hyatt opened in the spring. They have works by Bahamian artists, about 2,500 pieces. There's tons of restaurants, multiple pools. It's right on Cable Beach, and so it's just a really big project. And also, I should say that the Bahamas wasn't affected by the recent storms, and it's really important that people go to the Caribbean and invest and bring their tourism dollars there and just lift the region up and help get it back on its feet.
All right, Jackie Gifford from Travel and Leisure. Thank you so much,
thank
you for picking Canada.
Thank you, Jackie. She's really happy. She's going to be displayed in her office.
Yeah. I knew it all along, though.